Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers, and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I'm Akila Textry in the divine energy essence of it all. I'm really in the essence, the vibrations right now. It's turning up around here. It's the neighbors, you may hear some music in the background. I'm not even bothered. It just feels like, okay, I guess there needs to be some background music. But I greet you in that love and light, as always, reporting to you live from the fifth dimension, 5D, always ready to bring you the news to infuse, if you so choose to infuse with that news. So let's light up on the light grid. Let's infuse with that light grid. Choose to infuse, or if not, get fried on the grid. Ow. So you're gonna hear this beat, and you may even see me dance, because sometimes my cells just be going with the vibration. And this is real root chakra vibrations right now. You see, I'm in my red, I'm in my root chakra vibes. Every Monday is root chakra, because you know, on my 5D calendar it is Monday is always a root chakra day, right? I usually start the week with Tuesday at the crown, and we end on the root. That's just every week for me, just to give you a tidbit of what my calendar looks like, right? So today was going out and really just sitting with nature and listening to the birds. As soon as I opened the door, it's like nature was just like, I'm like at the door like this, like bird, lizard, squirrel, and they just real active in the yard. Like I noticed they come around more because, you know, I meditate in my yard, so the vibrations are very high in my backyard. The lizard, the iguana, they all just come in and chill. I mean, plus I feed them peanuts. I put peanuts out for them, but you know, and they come and they touch the vibrations. We're all one. You know, I listen to the news in nature, and there's a lot of things happening differently. As I sit outside, I hear the wind. I'm listening to the ancestors in the wind, listen to the wisdom in the wind. Like this is that time, like right now, where we're all being called to listen to that wisdom in the wind, to be that wind weaver, right? And as I say, listening and paying attention and tuning in, I think of the trees as I was on my root day, and it's about rooting. I didn't do much in the yard, but just really sat in the yard and listened. And I think about how a lot of us, what I was getting a message for lately is it's time for a lot of us to be connecting like the roots. If you know the roots, they all communicate under the ground. All the roots are speaking to each other. The trees, you could see some trees far apart. Best believe they're communicating underground, right? They're talking through the roots. So just like I heard that beat playing, and it's like that beat, that rhythm, the drum is root chakra, right? And it's a way for us to talk and communicate. This is why our ancestors spoke with the drums. The indigenous people know, right? So I say all that because what I'm hearing is a call for a lot of us to be connecting back. Just like you hear the beat, you know, calling you back, come back, and connecting to where we are supposed to be. It's time to find, this is a call to find your soul tribe. Like your soul tribe, most of you have already found your soul tribe. Some come and go, some have stayed, stick around. I know, because I've had a group that I started since around 2022 with the whole 5D, with the Pluto return, where it was like 5D independence, and there was a lot coming online around that time. And some of us are being called to return back to that, because some people started but then kind of, you know, went back into their life, and we're being called to really pay attention to that 5D energy, the fifth density light that is speaking to us. And most importantly, find your community. It is time for us to start building our community. I'm getting the Council of 12. I've been getting it since then, and it's coming back up again. And I said it in a previous video. There's a Council of 12. There may be multiple Councils of 12, but there's definitely a Council of 12 where all 12 groups is like a mastermind. So each 12 is like a group, like the constellations. It's a constellation. And within that group, it's a synergy, right? So it's as if, like I say, I'm divine energy. It's as if each one of those 12s are a divine energy, but as the council of 12, as they come together, they will become the divine synergy. And we may have more pockets of that, but it is time for us to start interconnecting. There is an interconnectivity that was turned on around that time in 2022, with the third wave of light warriors that were working on this. And you know who you are. If this resonates, it resonates. You'll know who you are. If around that time, 2020, you were called to be the lighthouse, to make the call, as if I was one of those that it was like, let's round them up. Whoever lines up, whoever attunes, whoever aligns, that will be the group. And so, of course, after some time, some come and some go, but this is a time to strengthen our bonding and our connecting, because that deviant energy out there is bonding. I told you guys about the bonding agents. So those of us who are doing our work, let me say it clearly, because this is not for anybody. And I noticed that when I was doing the groups, this is not for anybody and everybody. If you're not doing your soul work, aka shadow work, soul excavation, any type of deep soul work where you're removing your soot off of your soul, you're working on coming out of the karmic wheel that your soul has been on time after time through multiple past lives, through multiple lifetimes, and through multiple timelines within this lifetime. A lot of us are shifting right now to the next gear. A lot of us have quantum leap, jumped through multiple timelines, and we're in this timeline now where it is, you may not be getting much answers now. You may be asking for your guides, but a lot of us who have really been doing the work, it's because you already have the answers. You already have what was given to you, and it's for you to move in the unknown, right? And when I say that, it's existing in the knowing, knowing that the unknown is still known to you in some degree, right? You may not know the details. I know that may sound weird. You may not know the details, but the unknown is known to you. The unknown is known, right? That's what I feel like I want to say this is all about. The unknown is known. So it is for us to tap into that, but we have to have that faith to trust. It takes a trust walk, trusting what you know, but that's by existing in the knowing. This is actually 6-dimensional activity that I'm speaking about right now. It's not so 5D. It's a little beyond 5D. And so this is for those who've been seasoned in 5D, who have been working in 5D for the past at least, 2-3 years or more, where you have made certain lifestyle changes. You have changed. It's not even just your lifestyle, because let's be real, you could change all you want on the outside, but it's the perspectives, it's what you're changing on the inside, which ultimately shows up on the outside anyway. Whatever you're doing on the outside is an example. It exemplifies what's going on inside your consciousness, inside your house, right? That's why you ever see some people and they say, oh, I could tell what their house look like. If you can read people like that, you can tell by looking at what they do in their life. Everything in your life, world, and affairs, it exemplifies what you're exuding from the inside out. That's why I always say, shine your light from the inside out. So this is a time where all of us who are working on, depend on what level you're on, because we're all at different levels, but I'm feeling the call to return. I'm feeling the connection for those who feel connected. Find your soul groups, find where you feel connected, and work in that group. Commit to that group. Commit to yourself first and foremost, because the changes start with you, right? You're not going to go in a group and make much of a difference if you're not making a difference in your life. So this call is to really, get grounded and get into the roots. Listen to what the roots are saying as well, because the roots are already communicating underground, from the roots all the way to the treetops, where the wind is moving the trees, right? I call it the breeze in the trees, the breeze of the trees. The wind is whistling through the trees. So there's communication happening underground, and then there's communication happening overground. And remember, water is being passed through the earth. So think of that energy in motion that water is being passed under the earth, because remember, the roots take up water, so there is some moisture and water in there. So how is that water moving? How is that energy and motion moving, through the earth, right? That's the water in the earth aspect. That is the currency, the energy and motion. Even if you don't see a river, right, there's water, there's moisture moving within these roots and through these roots. And from the root to the fruit you shall see. And the trees are blowing in the wind, and the wind is just whispering through the trees. The energy, the wind is the element of the heart, so the energy, the energetic body is definitely moving through the trees. So take your time when you hear the wind, take a pause and listen and go within, right? It's like if you hear the wind, pause and go within. But it's taking the time to really look at what you need to unfold. We're unfolding flowers, right? And we all have steps to take to get into this, to have this trust with the unknown, knowing what we know, right? And this takes the unfolding, meaning you just take one step at a time. And as you take the step, the energy is going to meet you halfway, and then the unknown unfolds. And those who understand this, who really live from a 6-dimensional, 7-dimensional type of understanding, right? This is not really that hard for you to do. You just may not see it right now if you're in place kind of asking for some answers. Like I had been for a couple of days, and it's like, okay, you're not getting these answers. And it wasn't until listening to, if you guys get a chance, I was gonna say a chance, tune in to, I think it's called Channel of Light, and it was something being said about the 6th dimension, which I'm going to talk a little bit about that even more. The 6th dimension, and seeing what's happening with that on multiple levels, where she did a beautiful channeling of Dolores Cannon, who I love, who was always talking about the 5D. So it's for us to understand, overstand, and understand that we may not have all the answers right now. We may not be hearing from our guides right now, which I completely understand, because a lot of us were given some hints, some clues. When she said steps, I was like, got it, because I know I had been, even in the last cards that I pulled for the first time, I got 4 steps for the action card. And I may post that video here. I did it on Facebook, but I'll see if I can somehow work my tech savvy ways and extract that video to post it here. But it was really insightful of the 4 steps that need to be taken in the action step. Like, it's one action step, but there are 4 steps breaking down the action step. So I'm even reviewing that and taking that into heart. Like, you got the steps, now just take the step, one step at a time. And as you do, the pathway will unfold. And that's existing in the knowing, in the infinite, in the receptive capacity of just the infinite existence, where you just are existing. This is beyond 5D, right? 5D is the expression. It's being in the expression of everything in the atmosphere, and being able to see things as they are. Read the atmosphere, read the wind, read the currency, read the energy, right? And be able to see things instantly, immediately, because you're paying attention to the communication in the energy, right? And when you go beyond that realm of expressions, where creation is existing in time through expressions, that's 5D. Then when you master that, you get into that next level where 6D is existing in the knowing. And I'm going to talk more about that in another video. I want to go deeper into that. But it's existing in that knowing, where it's unknown, but you know. It's unknown, but you know. So every point, everything that is there, let's call that timeline X, right? We're entering into new timelines. And I'm speaking to people who have been doing the work. I'm speaking to those of us who have been through the dark night of the soul and worked the dark night of the soul. Not just went through a dark night of the soul and got beat up and it's like, oh, I went through the dark night of the soul. No, you elevated, you evolved through the dark night of the soul, because you allowed that to open you up and expand you, right? You might have had some contractions through the labor of it, but ultimately you allowed yourself to open up like that flower and expand and give birth to the new idea, give birth to the new timeline, give birth to the new essence of you to your 5D new self, right? Your 5D consciousness. You're completely having revolutionary changes in your perspective. And so you're no longer who you were. You're finding out that there are things that you're just not there anymore. And so all of this is happening to help us see that we are shifting timelines. We are coming into crystalline bodies. All of this is saying that. And as I say crystalline bodies, there's something I wanted to point out, because some people think that just because the timeline is moving along, just because the earth is evolving, that you're automatically going to jump over. It is according to your works, according to the deeds you do, according to the things you're willing to let go of, and even according on to the things that you're not doing. Because what you're not doing, it automatically puts you in a default of where you are. So don't think, well, I didn't do nothing, so I'm good. Because in some cases, we need to do something. There needs to be an action step. That is the radical change that you need to have. It depends on who you are and what type of person you are. For some people, if you've been laid back and timid and you just kind of always take this approach, you don't get away with that anymore. This is a season where you actually have to make a decision. You actually have to take a step. You actually have to do something. You actually have to say something. You can't sit by idly, right? That's if you're underactive. I'm speaking to the underactive people. If you find that you tend to be overactive, this is a season where you pull back. This is a season where you say, no, not me, not today. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not overexerting myself in that way. I'm not going to defend that in that way, especially for the truth, because the truth needs no defending. We got to know that there is nobody needs to defend the truth. The truth is simply the truth, and we just need to be in the truth and be expressions of the truth. So holding back, if you're overactive, pulling back and doing less things, that's revolutionary for you. Taking the time to see these opportunities as a time to remove the soot off of your soul, right? To come out of the karmic loop, to make those necessary changes. This is what it's calling us to do. And the more we do that, is the more we change our cells at a vibratory level, at a vibratory rate. Very vibrations are changing, right? Just like this music sets the vibration, right? There's a sound makes the vibration. Your action makes a vibration. Coherency, your brain-heart coherency sets the tone, which is your thought-feeling coherency, sets a vibration. So whenever you're incoherent, you already know what kind of vibrations that is. And I say that to say the more you're doing the work, the more you have coherent vibrations. The more you harmonize, the more you take the contrasting situations and find the complement in it, find the complementary balance, where you understand what that duality was showing you. There you find the number 2. There you find, if you're seeing 2 a lot everywhere, 212, 222, this may be for you. It is reminding you, your angels are reminding you to find the harmony within the duality. Find the harmony within the duality, right? If you're seeing 6s, receptive completion, because that's the season we're in right now of receptivity. Find the harmony and duality so that you can be receptive. Find the harmony and duality so that you can be receptive. If you're seeing these numbers being repeated, right? So that you can be receptive. Excuse me if I said deceptive, right? We don't want to be deceptive, but to be receptive, right? So finding that is what's helping us come out of our shell, come out of not doing the work, basically hiding. Some people may be hiding, or it's just stuck, like I don't know what to do. Do something, meaning live your life and just being the truth, right? Be an example of that truth. But just by you doing the work, if a situation comes up, there should be some soot that you got off of your soul. There should be something that you realize, I can no longer be like this. I can no longer show up like this. This no longer fits me. This no longer serves me, right? It doesn't serve my highest good. So I must release it. I must let it go. Whatever that is, it may be whatever you had a personal perspective, an ego attachment, a personal attachment. Now it's time for me to let that go. So we're being shown that humility. One of the words I got was humility. We must be in humility to allow receptivity, to allow the wise ego to be. All right, in order for that ego to rise in wisdom, it takes humility first. So Vulnerability, humility allows you to unlock your receptivity, which is feminine energy. Right? So you may see more people opening up into their feminine energy. It is not about emasculating men. This has nothing to do with gender, because we all have feminine energy, male and female. So it's not about gender, but it is about you. It's not about effeminizing, being effeminate or any of that. Like, people utilize these feminism, they utilize these to help their agendas, their perverse agendas, because they're not fixing their souls. This is not about that. This is about being in your feminine energy to unlock the receptivity. And again, I'll speak about that more, but this is really inviting us to get into that roots, from the root all the way to the fruit, inviting you to tap into your truth, inviting you to connect to your, inviting you to get involved in social interconnectivity. So this is my call out. I share this if anyone feels that this resonates with them, or you're ready to build that community. Like, I'm talking serious movements. This is, like I said, not for everybody. This is a forward movement, as it's always been with 5D, and the earth is shifting, so we have to shift with it, infuse with that light or get fried on the grid. So for those who are, if you feel like those 12 Council of 12 has said something to you, or just anything to do with stepping into the 5D, doing the 5D work that speaks for you, like I said, if it resonates, leave a message. I will connect. Like, I know there's some way to connect through here, but leave something in the comments so that I can see it and we can start to build this community. And it's not for everybody. Like I said, those who resonate, for those who it resonates with and who are ready to commit for the journey within themselves, so that we can be a better commitment onto each other, right? For the divine energy as well as the divine synergy of it all. It is collective energy. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So with that said, I invite you all to get into the knowing, to know that the knowing is that unknown is the knowing, and the knowing is of the unknown, right? Make it known. Just be knowing unto yourself, and it will be made known unto you. There you go. Right? And always stay oh so true to you. And I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to go back into my root with these vibes. At least we got some background music with us this time. Love you all. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start, start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.